So it looks like the remaster is just around the corner. I know I got a charge notification and my shipping is pending, which means it's really just right here. And we got some new information about the cleric and how it's going to be changed with the removement of alignment as well as some other things. So I thought we'd go ahead and take a look at that blog post and see what we can do. I say it all the time and I'll say it again. Don't ever sleep on the Paizo blog. There's a lot of good information there. But my name is Don. I'm trying to be the Sly Strategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. So this post came out October 24th, and it kind of goes into some of the changes on the cleric. It is near and dear to my heart because I love playing a cleric, and they're one of my favorite classes in truth. So let's go ahead and see what it has to say. So they talk a little bit about how they're going to make some changes to deities in the cosmos, as well as the removal of the 9 alignments. So, by removing the alignments, it does still leave the edicts and anathemas in place, and they provide descriptions of what the god desires their followers to do, as well as what it prohibits them from doing. It allows them to do this at a much finer level of detail than it would be with just the alignment. Now, there's still the endless struggle over the souls of the planes, as it says in the blog post. And in order to take care of this, they've kind of taken care of that with sanctification, whether it's holy or unholy, and the fact that in most cases, it's a choice that the individual character can take. And it basically just represents how dedicated you are to that particular fight. Not all gods will demand it, and some gods will demand it. And the ones that they've kind of brought up here are Saren Ray. Doesn't require you to do it. It is a personal choice. However, you have Asmodeus and Iomade who do require you to swear allegiance. So with that, let's go ahead and get a little bit into alignment damage. So it used to be a major tool, but it could get in the way just by using the good or evil side of it. So in this particular case, they're bringing up an example of a cleric of Lamash 2 might have dealt evil damage to scatter those standing up against the mother of monsters, but that often didn't reflect the god's will necessarily. Some gods were neutral and didn't really have a part to play, and all the gods had enemies, regardless of alignment, who opposed their beliefs but weren't necessarily the opposite alignment. So in the new spirit in the remaster, damage types lets the god's wrath, which is their word, which I really like, it lets god's wrath manifest much more broadly, harming anything that could potentially stand in the way, as long as it has a spirit, down to oozes that need to be scoured away. Now, clerics who do undergo this divine sanctification can infuse many of their spiritual abilities with holy or unholy power. Now, what this does in the example that they've given is the divine lance cast by a holy character will still damage just about anyone, but it will trigger weaknesses of demons and devils, which is kind of great. And on the other side, divine wrath excludes the allies who are helping a cleric to do their god's work. How they say it is even if the alliance is a little peculiar. However, it could just be that maybe they aren't directly working with you. Now, aside from those changes, they also smooth out some of the rough edges, which I'm particularly interested in. So all clerics will see their defined font simply give them a number of bonus heal or harm spells, and it doesn't matter what your charisma score is. So it does allow a lot more flexibility in how you will allocate your attributes. In addition to that, the War Priest got improved weapons proficiencies where it could, raising the level of martial weapons to expert at level 7 and their deity's favorite weapon to master at 19th level. Now, there are changes to focus point recovery that is just coming in the remaster, and I do quite like it a bit. However, quite a few domain spells were improved or replaced. An example they give here is Pulse of Civilization, now giving wide access to the lore of nearby cities rather than one public fact. And Ignite Ambition, working as a reaction that the target notices only on a critical success. Now, one thing that they bring up is that a lot of the remastered classes did get new feats, and they didn't leave clerics out. And the way they describe it as a powerful cleric, your god might protect you so dearly that they punish those who harm you, or you might reinforce your shield with the strength of your divine font. But they also have some smaller, they call them miracles, but smaller feats like blessing the area around you to heal your allies out of combat, or presenting your religious symbol to protect against the world's varied hardships. And they do give you some examples. So one of them is raise symbol, which is a single action 4th level feat. The requirement is you are wielding a religious symbol, so it's always good to have that religious symbol out somewhere. So what you do is you present your religious symbol emphatically. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to saving throws until the start of your next turn. While it's raised, if you roll a success at a saving throw against a vitality or void effect, you get a critical success instead, which sounds pretty good. If the religious symbol you're raising is a shield, such as with emblazoned armaments, you gain the effects of raise a shield when you use this action and the effects of this action when you raise a shield. So you kind of almost get it for free if you do raise a shield. Sounds like a really interesting part of that particular feat. And another one that they talk about is Sacred Ground. So Sacred Ground is a 4th level feat. The traits are Cleric, Consecration, Divine, Exploration. The prerequisite is a harmful font or a healing font, and you can do this once every 10 minutes. Now, the description reads, you pray continuously for 1 minute to call a subtle shadow of your deity's realm over a 30-foot burst centered on you. It lasts for 10 minutes, and a creature that remains in that area for the entire 10 minutes regains hit points equal to your level. If you have a healing font, this activity has the healing and vitality traits and heals living creatures. If you have a harmful font, this activity has the healing and void traits and heals undead creatures or other creatures with void healing. Clerics with a versatile font can choose either or both, and the both I find very interesting. It can't damage creatures in any case. Now, another one they bring up is Channel Succor, which they spent some time in the fires of the remaster to raise again as restorative channel, so it has been renamed. It interacts with the new broader curative spells like Cleanse Affliction and Clear Mind. And they mentioned that there is, how they describe it, a new toolbox to channel all the new healing goodies. And I know, at least in some of the adventure paths I'm currently playing, being able to get rid of certain conditions is a fantastic thing to do. And I think this actually is going to make it a lot easier. Now, as someone who plays a lot of healers, I am thrilled for this particular part of the remaster, especially some of the new feats and how they're handling conditions. I think that Anathema and Edicts are a very good way, and what I more paid attention to than alignment before. So the removing of alignment really doesn't bother me at all. But I do hope you like this little update about the remaster for clerics. And if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or hit that notification bell. But whatever you do, I hope you have a great day and happy adventuring. Thanks.